You ever feel like you're walking through life wearing a cloak of invisibility, except you're the only one who knows it's there? That was me for 5 years straight, mopping floors at the Langston Grand Hotel while pretending I was nobody worth a second glance. Night shifts, marble floors, fluorescent lights humming overhead. You'd think I was just another tired janitor, right? Except, let's be real, I've got a PhD in linguistics. I can speak 9 languages without breaking a sweat, and my entire plan was to stay hidden until I found my sister. Nobody suspected a thing. That is, until one night, the whole charade just unraveled in the blink of an eye. It started with a crying Dutch kid in the lobby. I calmed her down, spoke to her in perfect Dutch, then switched to German for some lost tourists, and, for good measure, I settled a business guest's nerves in Mandarin. 10 minutes, 3 languages, not even counting the English I used to greet Jorge at the concierge desk. And of course, the one person I didn't want overhearing me was exactly the one who did. Christopher Langston. Yeah, the CEO. The guy who owns half the block, probably even the sky above it. He started asking questions I couldn't sidestep. Where'd you learn all this? Do you want to work guest services? That kind of thing. I brushed him off, but from that moment, I felt the temperature in my life go up by about 20 degrees. You ever have that sense? Like you're about to be found out, and you're not even sure what out really means? Let me back up a sec, set the scene. It's 11:30 at night, hotel bar is winding down, and Jorge, the only person on staff who ever calls me Ms. Languages, tosses me a smile while he straightens his vest. I ask him about his English lessons. He beams, says I make him sound smarter. You already are smart, kid, I say. He doesn't believe me, but maybe one day he will. Upstairs, I'm running my usual checks, fixing typos and evacuation signs, dangerous errors. Honestly, like the Arabic being one word away from telling people to run toward the fire. Every night, I float through a dozen languages and 100 accents, but always keep the conversation short. Just enough to help, never enough to invite curiosity. Except this one night, the CEO gets stuck after a failed meeting with some Swiss investors. The translator ghosted, so now he's grumpy and stalking the halls looking for reasons to fire someone. Instead, he stumbles on me kneeling beside a little Dutch girl, tears all over her face, and I'm soothing her in her mother tongue. He watches as I teach her how to say help in English, then patch things up with her parents when they finally show. That's when Langston really sees me, not just as the night janitor, but as someone who doesn't fit the uniform. He comes over, tests me in French, German, Mandarin. I reply perfectly, maybe too perfectly. He's impressed, but I see the wheels turning. Why are you really here? He asks with his eyes, though out loud he's just being impressed. I deflect, head for the elevator. I don't need a spotlight. I need shadows. The more he watches, the more he suspects. Even Jorge, my closest friend there, starts to notice. But Jorge's too good-natured, always assuming the best. He once asked if I wanted a job in guest services. I told him I liked the quiet. He shrugged, but I saw it in his face. He thought I was wasting my life. The truth is, my life wasn't mine to waste. Every night I'd go to my locker, tucked away in the basement, and unlock a little metal box hidden behind extra uniforms. Inside, an old journal filled with notes in 9 languages, a couple fake IDs from my UN days, and, most of all, a stack of clippings about my sister Lena, gone 3 years now, vanished after a classified project blew up. On nights when the loneliness hurt more than usual, I'd trace her picture and promise I'd find her. Then one night, someone slips a postcard into my locker, a picture of Bangkok, no postmark, no return address. On the back, in Cyrillic, she's still alive. Bangkok. For a second, the whole world tilts. Then it's back to work. Langston isn't the only one curious now. His assistant Evelyn gets in on the action, too. She pulls my file, sees nothing but 5 years of night shifts, no background, no education, just a single emergency contact, Jorge. She thinks I'm suspicious. She's right, but not for the reasons she imagines. A couple days later, Langston corners me, says he needs help with a German client. Any advice? He asks. I lay it out. Punctuality, directness, keep the jokes to yourself. He blinks. You ever think about doing something more? I laugh. Some of us are just happy being useful. That's not what he wants to hear. A twist comes sooner than I expected. Evelyn starts digging through facial recognition databases, and she almost connects me to Lena. Then Jorge, sweet kid, gets in trouble over his scholarship, practice tests all in legalese, not a chance he'll pass. I spend an hour walking him through it, teaching memory tricks, explaining idioms, and for a moment, I feel like myself again, not invisible, not hiding, just helpful. Then the real twist drops. I find another envelope, this one with a picture of Lena, looking scared and out of place. Thailand Operation 2022. A scrap of a classified document. Suddenly, it's clear. Someone's not just watching me, they want me to know they're watching. I tell Jorge the truth, or at least enough of it. I'm not hiding from some bad breakup or dead-end life. I'm hiding because my sister tried to expose a project and disappeared. Now, maybe, she's alive. That night, Langston calls me in, apologizes for prying. Offers me a one-time job at the upcoming international gala as a cultural liaison. Good pay, no strings. I accept, partly for Jorge, partly because I need to see who else is watching me. The night of the gala, I blend into the crowd, handling investors in Portuguese, smoothing out German, Korean misunderstandings, solving problems like it's nothing. But there's this Japanese businessman, Mr. Tiyata, who looks at me just a little too long. When he drops Lena's name, my blood runs cold. Do you know her? He asks. No, sorry, I reply, smiling tight. Evelyn catches my whole performance on camera and pieces together that I'm not Naomi Brooks. I'm someone much more complicated. Meanwhile, Silas Corp, a private security firm with too many secrets, contacts her, asking about employees with international backgrounds. She rats me out, thinking she'll get a promotion or reward. That's when everything snaps. Black SUVs outside, men in dark suits, Langston trying to stall them, Jorge creating a diversion. I slip out a side window, grab a note from an old contact, Marcus Webb, my sister's former handler, telling me where to find evidence in a storage unit. I barely escape, heart hammering in my chest. Storage Unit 247. Boxes of files, surveillance footage, a laptop, a video from Marcus. Your sister's alive, being held at a facility in Thailand. They want both of you. The technology you created is being weaponized to manipulate millions. You need to act, now. My old world and my new one crash together, no more running. With help from Jorge, Langston, and a web of contacts in Bangkok, we set out for Thailand. I find Lena in a high-tech prison, doped up and forced to build language tools for people who want to control the world's thoughts. I bust her out, along with a dozen other prisoners. Guards close in, alarms blare, and I have to choose, run or get the evidence out. So, I do both, smash the system, upload every dirty secret about Silas Corp to the entire world. We escape by the skin of our teeth. The media explodes. Governments scramble. The company's executives go down in flames, new laws pass, and for the first time in a long time, I can breathe without looking over my shoulder. We turn the hotel into a research institute, teaching people how to spot manipulation, how to guard their minds. But the story doesn't wrap up neatly. There are new pins on the map, new facilities popping up, new dangers, new people trying to use language to bend the world to their will. The fight isn't over. It probably never will be. But now, I've got my sister back. Jorge's headed to college, and Langston, well, let's just say he finally learned there's more to life than owning buildings. You want to know what you'd give up for someone you love? For me, it was everything: my name, my career, my safety. Was it worth it? Ask me again tomorrow. But if my story made you think twice about what's real and what's manipulation, don't just scroll by. Tell me what you'd do for family, for justice, for truth. Where do you draw the line? Hit the comments. Let's get into it.